Practice a lot.
Yeah.
The first 5 minutes, you feel like you're never going to figure out how to play it. You want to do everything that you normally do on a guitar. You try and bend the string and it just falls right out of your fingertips. And because without the frets there's just nothing to like push the string against. But you don't have to bend anyway, because if you're going to bend a whole step, you just slide it up a whole step as a fretless. You can slide farther than you would ever be able to bend. So that's the whole thing of getting used to, alright, I'm not going to be working against the string at that angle. I'm going to be playing along the string. Vibrato will be this way, not up and down, and more like a cello type thing. So with the fretless, within the first hour, you'll notice that your intonation is starting to come together, and your eyes and your ears and your hands are all sort of locking in, and you're finding your place on it. Just practice time, like anything else. Just give it time and give it the attention when you're playing it, and it'll be good.
Yeah. I had how do you handle chords? I mean, how many notes per chord do you typically use, and do you have like specific inversions or?
Certain inversions will help, because I mean, you can't do a bar chord because this guy's going to be flat and this and that. If you're doing anything like that, you have to make sure that as you're barring down, that it's exactly straight for everything and in the right spot for all the strings. You have to do more things where you're flattening down, or just spacing things apart where your fingers have room to get in there and get where they need to be. You just find different inversions.
So you would look for inversions that are far from the bar shape.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, while using ordinary guitar with frets, you use the swing cup and as a slide, and you do all kinds of tricks.
Oh, the thimble?
The thimble, yeah.
Yeah. Where is that thimble? Don't leave home without it. Here it is.
So there's
this thing.
It's already part of fretless thinking. Always.
Yeah, sort of. Because, for 20 years I've been using this thing where, they didn't invent whammy pedals. I was like, I need higher notes. The fretboard ends, but the notes don't, and I want to get to them. So I figured out that, well, if I can't press a string against a fret, maybe I can press a fret against a string. And what I would do is, once you're beyond the fretboard, you pass the 22nd or 24th fret. If you hit down something metal onto the string, you will get the sound out. So then it just becomes a visual thing where you think about, okay, strings, octaves, how does this all work? An octave is half the length of a string, of the resonating area of a string. So if you
do the thing there, and then you do the thing here.
Right, and you just visualize half the distance. If the 17th fret is the high A over here, looking from here to the bridge, the halfway point would be where a 29th fret would be, because the way the frets lay out in the system that we're using, blah, 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 12 frets per octave. So 17th fret, 29th fret would be right there. And then you get this ugly squeaking noise that's an octave higher than that A. So instead of 880, you have 1760, so it's just figuring it all out that way. And again, it's just like everything else over time. You just get better at it. It's like playing darts. The more you do it, the better you get at hitting the target. So that's what I use this for. And I use it in two ways. I use it when you have the bridge pickup on. You get all the notes going up toward the bridge. You get all those higher notes. When the neck pickup is on, you only get the notes that are in front of it. So anything behind here, you're not going to get a note. But what happens is if you hold it against the string, it acts like you've taken the bridge and you've moved it forward, because now the string is resonating from this to your fret or to whatever, and it's de-intonating your guitar, raising the notes. I wish I had a guitar in here I could show you, but like, let's say you're hitting a note. You have one. There you go. Look at this. A plethora of guitars in the mist right there. That my eye did not catch.
Guitars. So it's like.
All right. So we can demonstrate a thing or two.
Is that a standard table just on the shop?
Yeah, just a plain old.
And do you wear that on stage all the time, or on certain numbers?
Only for the songs that I know I'm going to need it for. Otherwise, it tends to fly off my hand and get lost. Sweet. Ooh, so
You all are.
So yes. So, all right. If you're going to the high notes, so you get, here's that. Picture it, and then you can do it without the amp and everything. But that's where it's almost like tapping. Only you're doing it like that with that. Now, if you're going this way, should probably. I'm turning up the volume knob. Yeah. It's a habit, you check your volume. So, yeah, you can hear it.
Yeah.
It's changing the intonation of the guitar where the frets don't match up anymore, everything is higher, because if I'm here, the string is only vibrating from here to here. It's a shorter string, and now instead of this being the octave at the center, it's actually higher than the center of the string and is higher than the octave. Thus, as you move forward, each fret becomes an increasingly higher pitch than its original that it was. So I use it for both, and just subtle things. Again, the volume knobs and the tone I'm checking. Even if you're just right here, let's say you wanted to do a little trill of that note, you can actually hit it over there. A quick change in. So it's another way that you can.
Yeah, you actually do that in Chinese democracy.
Yeah, some stuff. Well, let me see.
It's an end of some sort of.
Shackler's Revenge, right?
Yeah. Because I thought that was like anything with a kill switch. I thought it was a kill switch on a delay, but now I recognize it. So.
Yeah, for that one, usually when I do it live, I just bring it over to it and just use the side of the pick. But you can do it with this. And I think on the album I did use it over here because I know the third time when I'm listening to it, it's a little sharper than the fret would be. So you get it right there. Yeah, just some of the silly things that just bored kids come up with, So.
Well, then I mean, Albert King played with his ring. Yeah,
there you go.
Just use the slide. I think it was Albert King, not Freddie King. Definitely not B.B. King.
Cool. So yeah. I've been just like talking your ears off.
That's alright.
Well, I mean, you've been a perfect host. You've been a wonderful host. Sorry for hoarding all this conversation. I mean, you can say listen to us.
It's okay.
We still got time.
Do you have any tips for picking exercises for your right hand technique?
Yes. Well, first, use a metronome, kiddies. Before even picking, it's about when you're picking. Don't jump in front of the beat, stay behind it. The drummer is the leader of the band. Even though he's in the back, he's the leader. He's the one that starts the beat and you have to follow him or her or it or whatever, the drummer. If the drum machine did. Whatever it is, the beat, so you got the beat going. You don't want to do what guitar players do, which is, play as fast as you can and, no. This guy tells you what to do and you wait for him and go even a little bit behind him. If you're right on it, okay, but do not get in front. So yeah, that's the first thing, is that start slow and work on just staying behind the beat and letting the beat dictate what's going on and play to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, start with that. Picking exercises, there's a million things. It depends on what you want to do with it. If you want to get into all the sweeping shit, or if you're just, just play, and everything will come together in time. Just take it slow, keep it comfortable, and different picking exercise. Well, all right. Typical shit. You could say, all right, take a scale. and break it up into different, you know, patterns. And do that stuff, you know, down, up, and then try up, down. Reverse the picking. So I'm going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then try it up, down, up, down, up, down, up. But get used to accenting on the ups as well. Dynamics, very important. Not to be neglected. If you're just playing a barrage of notes simultaneously with no accents to it and nothing that, you know, it's not going to have any life to it. You got to give it those little pushes and little spots, you know. It's like a voice. You're going to put an emphasis on certain syllables of words and phrases when you speak. It's the same thing when you play. You don't want to play like this where every single thing that you do is exactly the same. If it has no dynamics to it, you really won't be saying very much. Same shit, yeah. So yeah. What else matters with picking? Use your fingers. You got more than one here. I mean, just because you're holding the pick doesn't mean that, you know. So use all your fingers, you know. Just do, you know, whatever it is. If you want to come up with just little. And, you know, we call it chicken picking.
Yeah.
So yeah, that too. Just.
Besides, you got 3 picks. I mean, you got 1 pick here, 1 pick there between the fingers, and 1 for the side of the thumb.
That's a whole lot. So, yeah. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that you could be doing besides just going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You know, work on the accenting. You know, just come with some. All right, groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then work on accenting like the second beat of it. Stuff like that, or just like some random third beat of groups of 3, you know. Things like that, and it makes a difference when you just sort of etch those grooves into your brain, just expanding on everything. Work on getting multiple things at once. I've done in some of my songs where I'll have like, there's one song where I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 at the same time. And doing things like that. Or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Together. Stuff like that, like work on, like expand your brain on, there's a lot of things you can do besides just go, you know.
This is it, a failed drummer.
Failed drummer.